Hi, everyone. Happy Thursday. Thank God for a brand new day. So let's get into God's word. So let's do Romans chapter 11, verse 5 and 6. It is the same today, for a few of the people of Israel have remained faithful because of God's grace, his undeserved kindness in choosing them. Verse 6. And since it is through God's kindness, then it is not by their good works. For in that case, God's grace would not be what it really is, free and undeserved. So I just want to encourage you guys on today that we cannot earn God's grace. We cannot earn God's grace. We don't deserve God's grace. We don't deserve God's grace and God's mercy. We cannot earn God's grace. We cannot buy God's grace. God's grace is free and undeserved. We do not deserve it. God's grace is not by our good works, but it is through his kindness. God's grace and God's mercy is for everyone. And it is free and it is undeserved. And it's not by our good works. It doesn't matter how many good things we do. Maybe we go out and we volunteer. Maybe we help the homeless, whatever it is we do. Maybe we read our Bible every day. We do everything right. And we feel like because of that, it means we deserve God's grace. And that is far from the truth. We do not deserve God's grace. God's grace has nothing to do with us. God's grace has nothing to do with us. It's because of his kindness. He shows his grace and he shows his mercy to us. And we do not deserve it. There is nothing that we ever can do to earn God's grace. There is nothing that we ever can do to earn God's grace. God's grace is free. We cannot buy his grace. God's grace is free. And it is undeserved. Like it says in verse 6, God's grace would not be what it really is, free and undeserved. God's grace is free, meaning we cannot buy it, we cannot earn it. God's grace is free and undeserved, meaning we don't deserve it. None of us deserve God's grace. None of us deserve God's grace, God's mercy, God's forgiveness. So when we look at how people may do us wrong, treat us wrong, and we might feel like they don't deserve grace, they don't deserve mercy and forgiveness. Well, none of us deserve grace. None of us deserve mercy. None of us deserve God's grace. So let's think about that as well when people, mistreat us. Let's remember that. Y'all be blessed.